Has Diddy really been hurting his mom this entire time? Girl, this man is an Avengers-level villain at this point, cause he has been out here wilding this entire time. I guess he really wasn't joking around when he cosplayed the Joker for Halloween. In case y'all missed it, some more crimes about him have come to light, and the streets are saying that his mom, Janice Combs, is allegedly one of his victims, and he reportedly forced her into freakoffs. But if y'all think that's crazy enough, it's about to get worse, because new reports are claiming that Janice isn't Diddy's real mom, and they've had this weird relationship for a long time. Girl, there's so much going on here, so let's break it down. You think Diddy would have more respect for women considering everything his mom went through to raise him and give him a decent shot at life. But apparently that's not the vibe. Janice definitely did her best to bring him up, but word on the street is that her own path wasn't exactly squeaky clean. Janice has always said she worked as a teacher's assistant and did some modeling back in the day, but there are no receipts to back this up. No modeling gigs or runway moments have ever surfaced, so it's given very much questionable. But here's the tea the streets are spilling. There's a rumor that Janice was allegedly a madam. Word is she may have been involved with cartels, organizing those so-called fashion shows featuring young models, you know, the kind that doesn't have much to do with actual fashion, if you catch my drift. After Diddy's father, Melvin Combs, died, Janice moved him and his sister out of Harlem because she didn't want him to fall into the same bad lifestyle that his father did. She even went as far as to lie to him about how his father died. Speaking about this, Diddy said, "She tried to protect me. My father was a hustler who sold drugs. During this time, that was the way out of Harlem. Either that or playing basketball. My mother didn't want me to follow in his footsteps, so she was selective about which truths she told me. My father was in the army and he owned a limousine service, and he died in a car accident. Actually, he was in a car. But even as a kid, I put two and two together. I noticed that guys from the streets in Harlem always seemed to know my family's last name. I used to run with your father, they tell me. All my uncles were street hustlers as well." Now, given everything that Janice sacrificed for Diddy to have a good life and get out the hood, you'd think that he would be grateful and treat her well, right? Well, according to multiple sources, he never really did that, and he often treated her like crap when the cameras weren't rolling. We already know that Diddy has some sort of problem with women because he always treats them badly. I mean, we've seen him put paws on Cassie. Then we have Kim Porter, who he has 4 kids with. It was the same story for Kim because he often hit her and left her with bruises on her face and body, like the time he broke her nose during an argument. There's also this article from 2005 about the event saying Diddy Combs' girlfriend Kim Porter was left with a broken nose after the couple argued on Combs' yacht in St. Tropez. Combs flew in a specialist plastic surgeon from Geneva after the accident. Porter has since claimed that she hurt her face after she banged her nose on a table. He kept putting hands on Kim, and now there are fresh allegations that he allegedly forced her to lick Cassie's used tampon. Girl, that's not just evil, that's straight up demonic behavior. For context, there was some overlap between Cassie and Kim, with Diddy keeping Cassie as his side piece. But let's be clear, Cassie was a victim in all this, and the blame isn't on her. Eventually, Kim had enough and started standing up to Diddy. According to Gene Deal, she didn't just push back, she went hard.
One night, when they were at home at Kim's house on 110th Street, he wanted to, put his hands on her in the wrong way. And Kim took one of those corkscrews and ripped his wrist up and hit an artery. And when she did that, he had to rush over to St. Luke's Hospital.
But that's not all. His other girlfriend, Gina Hunn, also came forward revealing mistreatment by Diddy.
In the beginning, like the first 3.5 years, the first 4 months, he was really nice. But then after that, he started being so like I say, like the first 3.5 years, he was like mean to me.
So when you say mean, describe it.
He was like always belittling me and always like, he was like mentally, emotionally, and physically abusing me.
Diddy?
Mm-hmm.
It's not the first time we've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
There was an incident, of course, with Cassie, where reporters are saying that the police were called because they got into an altercation. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Tell me some of the things that he would say to you.
He would always compare me to Cassie and tell me that I'm the bad one and she's the good one.
And he was with both of you guys at the same time.
Yeah.
She also claimed that she had gotten pregnant with his baby twice, but he always forced her to get rid of it.
Now, when we spoke the other night, you said that things had gotten so serious that you became pregnant. Not once, but twice, correct?
Yes.
Okay. When was the first time you became pregnant with Diddy's child?
The first time was October 2014.
Okay. So this was like, what, a year after?
No, not a year, but because I met him in February and then I got pregnant in October.
Oh, so the same year.
The same year.
Okay. And you mind telling me what happened with that pregnancy?
I told him, and he was like, you're gonna get a right, and then I was like, I don't know, I don't know yet, and then he offered me $50,000 to get rid of it, but I turned it down because I just loved him, and I was like trying to prove that I wasn't the girl that
Was
wanted
with
him for money.
Okay.
I just care about him.
So yeah, Diddy clearly doesn't like women, but you'd think that he would at least respect his own mother. But he clearly didn't, because according to Gene Deal, Diddy smacking women around didn't end at his girlfriends, because he also allegedly put his hands on his own mother.
You know, like when the City College tragedy was going on and everything, and Diddy was on suicide watch. You know, Kirk Burroughs was like, yo, man, he told me he should have saw this coming with Cassie and the way he treated women when he slapped his mother. And I was like, he did what? And Kirk Burroughs said, yeah. I just thought because of what he was going through with the tragedy, it was like, I was stuck on stupid for a minute, but he was like, yeah, I thought that he would grow out of it, or it was just because all the shit he was going through when he slapped his own mother. I said, Kirk, let me tell you something. I said, Kirk, don't you remember when I told you when he cussed his mother out? And I think you was even that, Kirk, when we was getting in the limousine, he cussed his mother out. He told his mother to stay out of his mofo business. And I told him, man, you ever talk to your mother? You remember that situation? He said, yeah. I said, Kirk, why you didn't tell me then that he that he slapped his mother? Because if you'd have told me to slap his mother, I'd have beat the shit out of him, Kirk.
Child, this man is wild. But if you think it can't get any worse, girl, do I have a shocker for you. It turns out that in addition to allegedly putting paws on her, he also allegedly forced her into freak-offs. We started to suspect that something fishy was happening when he made this weird video of him kissing her on the mouth and making weird comments about her body, talking about how she could touch the floor with her hands. It was definitely odd for him to be out here showing off his mom's body like that. And did y'all catch the part where he mentioned they were getting IV drips together? Like, sir, what? Now here's where it gets even messier. Those federal indictment papers claim that Diddy and the victims from his infamous freak-offs would regularly get IV drips to recover afterwards. The way he just threw that out there all casual like, yeah, it's giving very suspicious vibes and raising a whole lot of eyebrows. The court documents said, in arranging these freak-offs, Combs, with the assistance of members and associates of the Combs enterprise, transported and caused to be transported commercial workers across state lines and internationally. Freak-offs occurred regularly, sometimes lasted multiple days, and often involved multiple commercial workers. During freak-offs, Combs distributed a variety of controlled substances to victims, in part to keep the victims obedient and compliant. Sometimes unbeknownst to the victims, Combs kept videos he filmed of victims engaging in sex with commercial sex workers. After freak-offs, Combs and the victims typically received IV fluids to recover from the physical exertion and substance use. Diddy casually mentioning that he and his mom were getting IVs, yeah, that was super sus. But hold on, because there's more. Janice's white nails also raised eyebrows. In Cassie's lawsuit, she claimed Diddy allegedly forced her to wear white nail polish before the freak-offs, which is already weird AF. And then there's Diddy's odd comment about how his mom can touch the floor with her palms. What are we even supposed to do with that information? The whole thing just screams off. At first, we thought that Janice might be up to some seriously freaky stuff with her son, but according to new reports, she just might be a victim and we could have been judging her way too harshly this entire time. And like that's not crazy enough, an insider recently came out with some wild claims about how Janice isn't even Diddy's mom, but his aunt.
Diddy's mom is really his auntie that's been claiming to be his mom this whole time. She's the one with the white nails. That's why he has that fetish. She's been picking him since he was adolescent because his daddy got killed when he was a baby. As soon as he had adolescent, he resembled his dad. So she started picking him. She's the one that picked his head up initially. That's why.
Child, this is just some nasty business, whatever way you want to look at it. However, fans are conflicted about this because while some people think she's a victim, others still think that she knew exactly what she was doing and was a willing participant. They left comments saying, "I'm sorry, but prison ain't enough for Diddy. Prison is way too soft. They even do TikTok in there these days. The streets gotta get him. They gotta bury Diddy in a cemented, engulfed coffin under the jail. Diddy needs to be under the jail immediately. That ain't his mom, that's his madam. His mother has always been questionable to me. She gives me really bad vibes. And she knew, she didn't care, as long as the lifestyle stayed." Shaking my head. I want to know how you guys feel about this, so drop your thoughts about this in the comments, then check out this next video.